3 educators, including the principal, are currently on leave after 2 separate incidents at Lillian Feinstein Elementary in Providence. Now, one of these employees is accused of biting a student. 12 News reporter Lauren Brill joins us with more on what happened. Lauren?
Well, Kim Caleb, behavioral interventionist Yuritsa Martinez was charged with 1 count of simple assault and battery in connection with this. According to Providence police, the child's guardian was not notified of this incident until well after school was dismissed.
We have to stop finding out who is making the decisions to hire certain people to work in schools, especially with children. The Providence School Department has had issues for many, many years with academics, with violence, with teachers being disciplined for a number of different reasons. The state of Rhode Island took over the Providence School District in 2019, and quite frankly, I don't think the state did any better because Providence schools are still at the bottom of the barrel. But this right here, a behavioral interventionist gets arrested for biting a student. What is going on with these people? And again, who is checking their backgrounds? I don't care if they got a bachelor's degree. I don't care if they got a master's degree. Apparently, this woman has some kind of internal issues, and they hired her to intervene when kids have problems with their behavior. Here's what happened on September 5th, 2025, at the Lillian Feinstein School on Sackett Street in Providence. Have a look.
A police report obtained by 12 News details the disturbing altercation that took place earlier this month at Lillian Feinstein Elementary School, reportedly involving this staff member, Yuritsa Martinez. The student tells Providence police he threw paint across the room, causing Martinez to grab a hold of him, and he bit her. Then Martinez allegedly bit him back and hit the side of his neck, leaving visible marks. According to the police report, this happened in Martinez's office, and there were no witnesses. The principal, Maria Petrosinelli, called police after the student's father called in a, quote, irate manner. Martinez turned herself in a few days later and was arraigned. Her bail was set at $1,000 and she was ordered to not have any contact with the student. She's expected to be back in court in November. Shortly after this, the school community was notified. Meanwhile, the district sent out a letter telling families that the principal at Lillian Feinstein Elementary is on leave. It's unclear why the district has appointed a new acting principal during this time. And in a separate and unrelated matter, parents were also notified about alleged unprofessional behavior in a classroom setting where a different educator was placed on leave. A spokesperson for the district says they cannot provide more information at this time, writing, quote, PPSD takes the safety of students seriously and is taking proactive steps to investigate concerns that have been raised.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because this is unbelievable. How many times have we seen kids being assaulted by teachers, sexually assaulted by teachers, physically assaulted by teachers, or teachers just not caring at all what these kids do when they're in class? But this woman, Yuritsa Martinez, age 44, was hired specifically for a reason: to take care of kids that had behavioral issues. And you heard the police report said the alleged trigger was a student wanting to use some paint. When the teacher, or when Martinez, the interventionist, said no, the student allegedly threw the paint across the room. Now, there was no witnesses to this incident. The report also says that the student bit Martinez first. So if that's true, Martinez turns around and bites the student back and then strikes the student in the neck with her hand. What kind of intervention is that? All you're doing is escalating the violence. It's quite obvious that this student had some kind of behavioral problems. If you told the student they couldn't use the paint, the student if they were of normal behavior, if you will, would have said okay and sat down. But no, the student threw the paint, and then the altercation took place. The police said it was minor. There were bite marks on the student's neck. I'm sorry. I just can't stop laughing because this is not the kind of shit we're supposed to be seeing in school. These people are being hired to take care of the kids, to teach the kids. Parents are entrusting these school districts to hire the proper people, vet these people the proper way, do serious background checks. Because I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Miss Martinez has a little bit of an anger issue, and she should not be working around children, especially as a behavior interventionist. So again, the report went on. There was bite marks, didn't break the skin. The principal was notified. But the best part is the guardian of this child wasn't notified until long after the incident. The guardian should have been called right after the incident and brought into school to speak with Miss Martinez and the student to try to get to the bottom of what happened. But of course, in my view, they tried to cover it up. They didn't think the kid was going to go home and tell the guardian the teacher bit me. This is the state of our schools right now. Kids are failing. Kids are dropping out at an alarming rate. Teachers are being removed for one reason or another, and the kids suffer. Parents have to go to work every day, and when they either drop their child off at school or put them on the school bus, they have to know that their children are in good hands. But apparently in the city of Providence, the kids are not in good hands. And it went further to say that the principal of that school has been placed on leave, but no one's saying why. And they had to appoint an interim principal while the investigation goes on. And then it goes on more. Another teacher was suspended for inappropriate behavior with a student in the class. Now, if you know me, and you know how I feel about these things, the inappropriate behavior I'm thinking of is not good, okay? But again, who's doing the background checks on these people, and how are they even getting jobs? It's just, there's so many crazy things going on in this world today, and adults, parents, have enough to worry about. They want to make sure they live in a safe neighborhood. They want to make sure they're bringing enough money home to put food on the table, to pay for things their family needs. They want to be able to put their kids in sports or let them participate in extracurricular activities. But incidents like this must make a parent say, I'm better off homeschooling my kid. The kid is not safe in an environment where they're supposed to be safe. And the city apparently is trying to cover it up as far as I'm concerned, because they let the principal go on a suspension, but nobody's saying why. Is it this incident with the interventionist, or is it the incident with the other teacher with the inappropriate behavior? Who knows? Everything is a secret. We've seen all too many times in schools all across this country, teachers are allowing boys to dress as girls, allowing them to use different names and different pronouns, and they're keeping it a secret from their parents. These people cannot be trusted. And I'm 100% sure that teaching is a very, very difficult job. Okay? They have to deal with classrooms full of kids, especially the younger ones, who I would imagine would rather talk all day than sit and listen to a lesson. But what are we doing when you're hiring people that most likely shouldn't be hired. In the state of Rhode Island, I'd say politics has a lot to do with it, because it all depends on who you know in the state for whatever job you want with the city, Providence, Cranston, Warwick, Johnston. If you know the right person, even if you're not qualified, chances are you're going to get the job. I would venture to say that's the case with Lillian Feinstein School, especially for the principal. This has to end. Parents need to know that their kids are safe in school. And we all know every school has a police resource officer. Was there one present in this school? I don't know. I didn't see anything about it, and we'll probably never know. But the bottom line is this. This Yuritsa Martinez apparently is certified by God knows who to be a behavioral interventionist. And she took it upon herself, after the student allegedly bit her, instead of trying to sit the student down and calm the student down and talk to the student, no, she turns around and bites the kid back and then gives him a little smack, him or her, I don't even know if it was a boy or a girl, on the back of the neck, and they don't tell the family about it. Martinez, in my opinion, needs to be fired and never allowed to be around children in schools again, because, again, I'm pretty sure she most likely has some anger issues, because the job she's in, that title, she's not intervening in nothing. She's causing a bigger problem by escalating the actions. She needs to be fired. The teacher with the inappropriate conduct needs to be fired. And quite frankly, even if the principal did nothing wrong but tried to cover up the incident with Martinez, the principal needs to be fired too. The kids are not safe with adults like this looking over them all day while their parents are at work trying to earn a living to keep their family together and keep their family safe. The city of Providence needs to wake up. The state of Rhode Island needs to wake up, because these kids are failing. The so-called leaders of the state and the city are failing the people who live in the state and live in that city of Providence. It's an absolute disgrace that you have to hear about something like this. An adult seeking revenge because a student lashed out. It's absolutely disgusting. And shit like this just cannot go on. The kids go to school to learn how to read, learn how to write, learn about history, participate in athletics. They don't go to school to learn that they can be one of 152 genders. They don't go to school to learn how to be bullies and fight. And they're certainly not learning anything from an interventionist who turns around and does the same thing to a student because the student did it to her.